Well, hey everybody, Mark, PrepperGuy. Yesterday was Inauguration Day. Trump, our new president, sworn in, and J.D. Vance. I kind of liked it better being inside, but what do you think? I hear it was really cold there, but I think just for security reasons, it was better. So all that bullshit went down, and then he had a mini press conference as he signed a bunch of executive orders. And that's kind of what I was going to talk about today a little bit, is these executive orders. So in days gone by, back when we were a constitutional republic, a president could create or sign an executive order pertaining to laws, federal laws, across America. Because he is the chief law enforcement officer, basically, of the federal government. So if he sees that federal agents aren't doing their job, he can make executive order to say, hey, you need to go down there and deal with this shit. Or stop doing this shit. Because, see, he is the main guy in charge of the federal government as far as the executive, the legal thing. So he could tell the FBI and the CIA and the NSA and all the alphabet soup to stop spying on Americans. Just through executive order, boom, done. And then if they didn't do it, then they could be fired. Their whole agency could be defunded by Congress. So that's how it used to work. And obviously, today, it does not work that way. Now it's just kind of like a slush fund checking account that he can sign on and write orders, and hundreds of them, and Biden did hundreds, and Obama did hundreds, and that's just not the way America was set up when we were a representative republic. And that meant we had representatives in our state, our Congress, that would represent you and I. And then they could appoint senators to go to Washington and deal with the business of the state. So that's kind of how it works. See, the Congress didn't live in Washington. They lived here. They were your representative. They should have been kind of like your neighbor. And so they were always nearby to where you could go, yo, what the fuck? So that's how it worked in America a long time ago. And we were truly a representative republic. So we're not anymore. So anyway, enough of the crying over spilt milk, because they fucked that up a long time ago. Trump signed quite a few. A lot of them will be good, because since we're not representative anymore and Congress doesn't do their fucking job, and Senate is now elected for 6 years, which is just retarded, maybe we can get some stuff done. And that's how executive orders have become viable, because Congress doesn't do its job. And neither does the Senate. So now the president, as executive, has to write all these orders. Okay. Not thrilled, but it's not a big deal. So we watched all that, and that was pretty cool. And let me know what you think. I'm happy that we have Trump as the president, because it is way better than Kamala Harris and that shit show. I'm just going to say that. And if you disagree with me and you think Kamala Harris would have been a better president, then you're really tuning into the wrong podcast, because I don't like her. She's ignorant and an imbecile and should not run our country at all. Now, do I have issues with Trump? I have a lot of them, just a plethora. But it's the devil we know, and we'll deal with it. So his issues on the border are great. I want that all done. I want our borders sealed. And we can sort it all out later. in his little mini conference when he was signing a lot of these executive orders, someone asked him about the war in Russia and Ukraine. And apparently, I don't know who he's talking to, but I'm pretty fucking dumb. And I know that Russia has not lost 1 million soldiers. And I know Ukraine probably has lost 700,000 men. Because why are they going to lower their draft rate for service? Because they're running out of bodies. A lot of them just left the country. They're just like, fuck you in this silly war. So if Mexico wanted to get into a pissing match in a fight with America, everyone knows they would lose. It doesn't even take common sense to do that math. So Ukraine is losing, and I don't know who is talking to Trump, but I'm afraid we're still going to see the same stupidity going forward with everybody saying, let's just continue to fund Ukraine because they're so close to winning. They're not. They're losing. They have lost. It's kind of almost over, except for the fat lady singing. Israel and the peace talks and all that. I'm just fucking sick of Israel. So I'm really not even going to go off on that and talking about it, because the Jewish people have been self-righteous fucktards for 4,000 years. And they follow the Old Testament. I'm a Christian. I believe Jesus did away with the old laws and ushered in new laws and new rules and new covenants. Not the Old Testament. So Christ was no longer one of them people that believed in an eye for an eye, blood sacrifices. He was the final sacrifice. That's it. Done and done. So Israel wants to continue, and the Jews, to believe in the Old Testament. They don't even really believe in the New Testament. Why? Because it was written by Jesus' apostles. And he never existed, so fuck them. So, if you want to live your life as a Christian, being on both sides of the fence, go ahead. But you're wrong, and you know it, and God would look at you and go, why are you following and believing in what they're saying when my son that came and died for you said he did away with those old laws? Well, I just thought I would, hedge my bets. Oh, okay. So anyway, give that up. Israel is wrong in the story, and we should not be funding it. And if they want to continue to march off into hell and get their asses blown up, then fine. They would be nowhere without our support and our military and our jets that are dropping our bombs on their enemies, which is the same as us doing it. And that is why things like 9/11 and all these terrorist attacks and all these people that we call terrorists, we created them. They're our babies. This is on us. So don't just sit there and say, well, Palestinians are all a bunch of terrorists. No, they're not. They're freedom fighters fighting the fucking Satan, Israel. Now, Israeli people are nice people, and Jews are nice people, and I know and have met a lot of them. They're not fucking Zionists. So somehow it got all bastardized, almost like Muslim people. I've met a lot of great, nice Muslims. They're not fanaticalized, and therefore they're not terrorists. So Jewish people are not crazy and radicalized. The Zionists are equivalent to the terrorist or the extremist, or whatever fucking word you want to give it. So that's how I see it. And I could be wrong, and you can comment, And if I get comments turned on and I don't get spammed to death by Russian-speaking people that, at least fucking learn to write English, because I can't read your shit. It's immediately trashed as spam. You can leave a comment there. You can go on the Podbean app and leave a comment there. So that was my opinion of yesterday. I was happy they didn't, fucking off President Trump before that day ever came. Joe Biden did his damnedest to just buck everything up before he left. Clintons did that. They took all the W's off of the the keyboards in the whole White House, and stole a lot of silver and paintings because they're fucktards too. I've never seen Republicans be that childish, except in school and college. So that's my take on Inauguration Day. Thank God it's over. Hopefully cooler heads prevail. I'm still worried immensely about our economy. Everything else can run its course. I mean, we're coasting downhill to a cliff, but at least we're still moving. But the economy is going to really be something that will hurt you and me on a financial level, dealing with our homes and our family life. And it's not going to be good. So you need to be watching out for that, reading the writing on the wall, listening to anyone you can that's talking about economics. I listen to people I don't even agree with just to filter it all out, and then I can come up with something that makes sense. Lynette Zhang, Andy Sheckman, gold and silver guy. There's quite a few of them. I kind of like Economic Ninja, but he talks more about crazy shit and selling courses, which is fine. They're probably really good courses. Greg Manarino. And then there's Gerald Celente. These people have been predicting trends for the last 20 years, especially Gerald Celente. And he's been right. And what he's talking about is still going to happen whether you and I like the sound of it or not. So whether you like what some of these experts are saying doesn't matter when it happens to you. And that's what's important. You are responsible for your family. Whether you're the mom or the dad, you are responsible. So pay attention. So anyway, take care, and hope you enjoyed it. Share the video. I don't go off in statistical analysis and facts and shit. You just read the writing on the wall. If it looks like it's going to rain, it probably is. And even if it doesn't, it's still better to have an umbrella with you than not. So that's how I look at what's going on with our fucking world right fucking now. And it's not looking good on an economical plane there. And Trump can try to do whatever voodoo magic Bitcoin bullshit he wants to do, but I do not want a digital currency, and neither should you. We're not going to go back to the gold standard. We're going to continue to print money until we're trillions of dollars in debt. We're already, 30-some trillion in debt. You and I don't even know what that means, other than that the US dollar is worth 3 cents, and probably less now. When I talked last podcast, I said 4 cents, but then when I did my math, it was based on 3 cents, because in between that I remembered, it's really 3 cents. So that's what it is. So you can have an American dollar worth $60 fucking $1,000, and really it's a $10 bill, just like Zimbabwe. So it will happen. We're not magic. We're not above it. And if we think that God's going to step in and save us, we're wrong, because that's what a lot of people thought for a long time in history, and it never happened. We're here for a reason. That's to fumble around through the valley of darkness and be dumbasses. And then when we die, then we'll get the answers. Right now, he's not carrying us through the sand. It doesn't work that way. It was never meant to work that way. Read about Jesus' plan and the devil's plan and how it was supposed to work. And that's why you're supposed to get your shit together and fucking repent and hope that you've done a good job when you die. Because he's not here talking to you. He's not talking to Trump. He's not talking to Biden. He's not talking to Kamala Harris or the Germans or Putin or any of them. That's not his plan to give you the footnotes and the answers to the quiz, because this is an eternal thing that we're going through. So why would he create this big maze and then tell us how to get through it by giving us a map or marking it with cheese so we can figure it out? What fucking good would that be? We all know that with kids. You buy them a car, you pay their way through, they fuck up their car, they don't keep it clean. Why? Because they didn't earn it. He is not a stupid father. So he doesn't want you succeeding in life because he gave you the answers. He doesn't want sheeple. He wants goats that can lead the flock. And you and your kids are the flock. Not all the people. Don't go out and do missionary work and shit. Just get your head out of your ass and be happy when you die that you did the fucking best you can. Because that's how it really works. And, not trying to be pessimistic or, a downer. But I am a cynic. And I can understand, based on the scriptures I've read in multiple books and religions, that we're really here to kind of figure this out. If he wanted us to know all the answers before he got here, well, then he would have sprinkled magic pixie dust on us and we would all know the answers. Oh, wait a minute. We knew all the answers before we came here. Oh, well then why did he bring us here and put a veil over our eyes so we can't remember any fucking thing about the day, post-birth or pre-birth? I don't know. Anyway, a lot of shit went on in heaven before we were born. And then he's like, okay, have fun. What? Where am I? What's my name? What am I doing? I just shit myself. That's why we're here, to figure it out. And if he wanted us to know all the answers, he would have never taken the wisdom from our eyes. Just don't be an asshole. Think about things. When you feel bad that you did something that hurt someone's feelings or hurt them, or you can't, sit there and look at it and say you steal somebody's shit, and then like 5 years later someone steals your shit and you're like, fuck, that sucked, man. I can't even go to work now because I don't have my tools or my truck. And then you miss that work, and then you lose your house, your wife leaves you, all because some fucker stole your tools or your money. And at the worst possible time, you go, man, that sucks. I really feel bad because I did that to somebody years ago. What a fucktard I was. So you tell Jesus, hey, I just learned what an asshat I am. And you say, I'm never going to do that again. And you don't have to get down and pray and whip yourself and throw ashes and sackcloth all over the fucking place. Just stop doing it. He'll know. He'll know you actually learned a lesson. Not, I learned a lesson. You did. Because you felt bad in your heart. And how you feel in your heart and in your mind is who you are. So, fucking repent. Go, damn, that sucks. I had something really bad happen to me a long time ago when I was married the first time. And it changed my life so dramatically that I said, I would never do that to somebody. And then years and years later, I kind of did, and then I went, that's fucked up. Don't ever do it again. And I never have again. These were lightweight things, but still, if you're using your head, then you're thinking, and then God's happy. You don't need to spend your whole fucking life reading all of the scriptures in multiple languages and trying to figure out who said what and when and who begot who. Just, you're only here for 80, 90 years, maybe 20, depending on how shit works out. God didn't let that bus ran you over. That was called physics. You fell down, you died. Okay, that's fine. So you got a chance to get your body, and maybe you learned. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. See, I can't fill in that void. Like, say, what if I die at 20 years old and I miss out on all that experience? Like, I don't know. I'm not God. I didn't figure the plan out. But I know enough to know that the longer you live, the more shit you will figure out. And the more you use your head, the less likely you are to be a fuck up and piss off God, to where you don't have to repent. And then Jesus, at the latter days, whatever his job description is, will pick up the tab, pay the tip, and say, come on, you did the best you could. We've got work to do. And there's no guarantee that when you die and I die, that's the end all be all. There's maybe more to learn. Because eternity is a long fucking time. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more to learn. So maybe that's what happens if you die young and then you get to there. You're not getting carte blanche going to heaven, because I don't really know about that at all. That's the veil that was put over our eyes. See, we don't understand, like, what does that mean? I don't know. I don't believe in hell. Because hell would indicate that if you screwed up so bad that he had a contingency plan for failure. No. God does not have a contingency plan for failure. His plan will work. It might take you longer to get to that final destination, whatever that may be. There's no hell. At least that's my way of thinking. And I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, you guys all take care. I love you. Share this video. Chop it up. Turn it into things. You can edit it and get rid of the fucking political stuff and leave the religious stuff. I don't care. I'm just venting a little bit and wondering about life and trying to fill in any blanks that you may have, because I'm 70, so maybe I've been around the block a few more times than you. So one of these days I want to talk a little bit about being a father, being a man, being a husband, and what I've seen over my life a lot of people do that has caused them a lot of problems. And it could have been avoided pretty simply. And I think that will be one of those talks that I might have to do a little bit more research and have a slight outline, because that's one of them subjects where you can just go off the fucking rails and fall off a cliff. But in my life, I've learned a lot of things I should and should not have done regarding being a father, being a son, things that happened in my life, things that I wished I would have done different, things that people told me was a good idea that wasn't. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, because I think politics, who the fuck gives a shit? I mean, nobody called you or me last night and said, what did you think about Trump's fucking speech? They don't even know you're alive. But God knows you're alive. Your family knows you're alive. Your children and your siblings know you're alive. How can you be a better you? And it's pretty simple. I've come to the conclusion it's actually pretty fucking simple. So we're going to leave it at that. I love you guys. Like I said, share, like, whatever. See you next time. Bye-bye.
We've made too many compromises already. Too many retreats. They invade our space, and we fall back.
I'm your huckleberry.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
That's just my game.